because many times we hear people complaining. Sente tezazze. Some districts have also started using it as an excuse. Tetufunanga sente. But now we are going to tell you, and you can have it in detail. And I want to thank New Vision. Yesterday they made a good job on that. They printed every district with how much money has gone there. So it's now you can challenge the district to say, you got this money, show us what you did with the money. And now we have decided that this is going to be the way we are going to do business. To avoid the gray areas where people say we have not got money, when the district has got money. Even if you got 10 million, show what the 10 million has done. And then we shall be able to be accountable to you and members of the society. I also want to bring this up, and so that you know. Every district has a district road committee. And the chairperson of that district road committee is the member of parliament. So members of, here I can see some people are surprised to know that members of parliament are members of the district road committee. So they are supposed to sit with this committee. First of all, the district submits annually to Engineer Naimanya their work plan. What are they going to do? Which roads are they going to address? What culverts are they going to fix? Blah, 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 and how much money. So he uses that plan to be able to dispatch money to them, and then checks against that plan whether they have accounted. But the MP of the area is the chairperson of the district road committee. He's supposed to chair the district road committee and decide where the money they have got has gone. For example, they can send a plan in January, but by March, the rains have come and they have washed away very critical road. Should they continue with the other plan? No, maybe they may have to change. So the chairperson can be able to guide the committee to change the plan and communicate to Naimanya that yes, the money you had given us was to do 30 kilometers. But when the rains came, they took away 10 culverts and we had to respond. So this is how the road network and maintenance of the road network works. The same goes with the KCCA. They submit their plans, annual plans for road maintenance. Leave alone the road construction. These are two different things. Road maintenance and construction. Because some roads are going to be reconstructed. For example, Salama Road. You can't say you're doing maintenance on Salama Road. It's gone, it's gone. That needs to be reconstructed. Now, when you look at Matuga, for example, Matuga, Semtoka Peka, you can't say you are doing maintenance on that road. We are going to reconstruct. So some roads will have to be reconstructed. Some roads are going to be maintained. The maintenance means, in a short form, for example, in a tarmac road, that there's a pothole which is developing. You come and fill it up and smoothen it. But the reconstruction means you are going to take away like the whole top cover and then replace it with a new one. The construction is that this is a new road. For example, Kilamatuga. I think many of you have heard about what's happening there from Kila to Matuga, going through Kasangati. That's a new construction. It has been a Maram road. It's now being upgraded to gravel road. So it's being constructed. So engineering will maybe, if he so wishes, make a hint on some of those roads which are going to be improved, plus those which is going to maintain, so that the public knows that we are not seated. We feel the pain because we drive on the same roads anyway. The pothole which hits him hits me as well. So it's not that for us we don't feel the pain, we do, and so we are going to, that's why we are going to be addressing that. However, I would want you also to take note that the desire is there for us to maintain these roads as much and as fast as we can. But, you know we're operating a cash economy. I hope you know this. You know it. Don't shake your head. You know we're operating a cash economy. When the money is available, we commit. When the money is not available, then we wait. And so now, we got a chance this time. Minister of Finance said, we have got some money. We are going to release you some money. So they released it to Uganda Road Fund, 134 billion shillings. He said, now, this is what we can afford. As of now, what we call Q2. That's what they have released, 132 billion. And that's what we have now parceled out to the different agencies and the different districts and the municipalities to address the challenge of the bad roads in their areas. And Uganda National Roads Authority, for them they have got 100 billion. That sounds a lot of money if you had to put it in the pocket. It's really chicken feed if you put it on the road. But that's what they've got, 100 billion this time. And this actually is about more than 132% of what was due to them. So for UNRA, we can say they've got their fair share of what was required. And so they are supposed to maintain the national roads, then also the ferries. You know, the ferries, not Kalangala, but is a Siguru ferry, the BKK, which is being, no, the BKK is not yet in function, but the one in Nakasongola, which goes to Amolata, and all those. So they will maintain the ferries, plus the Nachuogo ferry. That's part of the money which they will use. So this has been released to UNRA, and maybe I'll just say among the main road, some of the main roads which they are going to pick up. We have advised, they may change, but we have advised that they look at Imperial Gaya Zakalaji. I don't know how many people know that road. Imperial Gaya Zakalaji. That has been a good road, but it was deteriorating because many vehicles which are getting off the Jinja Road are now using that road to go to Jinja. Then Kayunga Galilaya, that will be, we want them to touch that. There's a stretch called Nebi Goli. It's about 15 kilometers. It's a very Nebi Goli. It's about 15 kilometers. It's a very, very critical road for our trade because it connects us to the Congo border through to Mahaji. Then Nyakaita Rushere Kazo. Who knows where that road is? Okay, that one is in the west. Then we have Kotido Kabong. That will also be maintained during that, with that money. So these are some of the things they're going to do. Of course, we expect them also to use part of that money. When the rains were heavy, we had landslides in Kisoro, in Kabale. We had a lot of landslides in Ibundibujo because of the nature of the terrain. In Kapchora Swamp, we also had these problems. So they'll use this money to kind of put back to usable form those roads. A lot of noise and, as I said, messages in the morning on radio stations have been crying about Masaka Chotera Mtukura Road. For this money, part of this money which they have got, we have appealed, UNRA may patch some of the bad spots, but that road will be reconstructed because it has also deteriorated. Then KCCA, Mr. Wimbas will go through that. Maybe engineer team will also elaborate more on what they are going to do with the money they have got. So, Mr. Wimbas, I will not pick your bill. You'll come and tell us what are the roads you're going to do in Kampala because I'm an interested party. All the districts, all the districts have received about 100% of the money they required for this quarter. So there should be no district which will say, for us, we never received our money. They have received the money. The question whether it's enough, that's a different one. But receiving, they have received the money. And so they should be able to buy fuel. They should be able to do some maintenance on their most critical roads, which are in a bad situation. In the same districts, there are sub-counties. The sub-counties have also got 50% of what is required of them to maintain their roads. So really, with this kind of massive power of funds on the ground, we expect to see a change on the road maintenance network on our roads. So we want the district to implement whatever works on the roads which they had planned for, and then they should work also in priorities. As I said, if you have a very critical road which was washed away, then you can still, flexibility is part of management. It's allowed, it's a principle in management. If the road is so bad and yet it's critical, for example, it's going to the service center, the health service center, and people can't access the service center, maybe you can use it as pick it as a priority and use part of this money to do the road. But please, as a district, go through the district road committee to make the decisions, not as individuals, not the RDC, not the LC5 chairperson. So these are what in general terms, this is what I wanted to say about what we are doing in responding to the damaged road network because of the heavy rains. But are we in the comfort zone? No, not yet, because we are being warned that November may be heavier in terms of rain than now. But let's keep our fingers crossed. We hope that this money will have made an impact even by the time those bad rains come. So that's what I had. Today I'm not going to talk about other things. It's about roads and bad roads in the district. Of course, as a ministry, yes, the ministry also got some money, and they're also going to activate their programs which had stalled because of lack of money. They got 30 billion. So they are going to use that 30 billion to activate some of their programs and respond to some of the demands which we have been receiving because of the bad, the bad weather. It's ironical. Sometimes you say it's a bad weather, the farmers are saying it's the good weather. So it's one way or the other. But because of the weather which affected our roads, the district urban and community access roads will also respond to using this money which I've got. So thank you very much. That's what I wanted to say. And now I will hand over to my technical people to go into those small details for what the money they have received. Where is it going? So that after November, you can ask them. You told us this road. They'll be here. They'll not disappear. After November, you can tell Seru Gamatovu, please call those officials back. We want to see what they promised us here